Oh, there we go. What do we get? Another Twilight Snapper. Nice. We will probably be set up to summon that boss. Whether that's wise or not is anyone's guess, but we totally could if we wanted to. Well, 2 more locations to check, and just make our way up to this Vampire Waygate, and then I think we're going to head home. We'll probably go via a couple of spots that might have castles on them, but by and large, my goal will be just to get home. I can't believe no one has set up castles over here, though. What's wrong with you? This place is amazing. Unless... No, 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 no. Thank you. Okay, so I'm seeing why. Initially, I was struggling to understand why someone might not have had castles up here, but I'm starting to perhaps see why. There's definitely a there's definitely some reasons why you might want to go somewhere less deadly, at the very least. Being said, I'm not sure if V-Bloods can get through castle walls, so, you know, once the castle's there, they can't really do much about it. It's just, you know, going home or leaving home would just be a little bit more risky than everyone else. But that just adds to the beauty, really, when you think about it. And the other thing you could do is if this were like a proper raiding server, it isn't, but if it were, you could 100% just make use of the fact that this place was patrolled by incredibly dangerous mobs all the time. Use that to great effect. Ah. Can you set up castles in, like, yellow areas? I would totally make one in the Gleaming Meadow. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine there, I'm afraid. That road there leads up to a new area, I should imagine. Hallowed Mountains Waygate. In fact, since I'm up here, I'll just go peek at it. See if it just terminates into a wall or something. Imagine... Oh, it's a broken bridge. Okay, okay. So I'm going to guess this will be updated at some point, and that will open up a new area. What are corpses but free decor? Too true. Too true. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of one of the things I was talking about when I first jumped on the server, and how if you set up in a location with a bunch of like Ents and the like, and golems, it's going to be pretty safe for you, because for anyone to come and mess with your castle, they'd also have to deal with the guards, and that it's not so much that they couldn't, it's that they wouldn't want to. It's like you never, like, if you were playing on a full PvP server where raiding was perhaps not even just allowed but encouraged, you're never going to be able to create a situation where your defenses are impregnable. That's just not going to happen. You're never going to be completely safe. Ever. So what you want to do is, instead of trying to make your castle impregnable, which isn't possible, there'll always be someone strong enough, or perhaps just bored enough to get through it, make your castle more annoying. Even the slightest additional annoyance to having to get to you is going to greatly discourage people. There's just a million other places they could be. A million other castles they could be raiding right now that don't require having to get through a bunch of additional defenses that aren't actually useful to them. My castle has a treant guard right outside the gate. Ah, see, exactly. Making the best of nature's bounty. Okay, got another castle there. Just swing past this little area over here on our way past. We're generally making our way home at this point, though. But I'll use the opportunity just to reveal a couple of locations. What's that? A militia camp. Oh, a 100% warrior there. That torchbearer is death to me, so no. But duly noted. Oh, take care, Aavak. You have a good one. Is this an open server with PvP? This is a Dapperlings server. Anyone on the Discord is welcome on here. There is PvP, but it is, for example, there's no raiding in the traditional sense, since castles are invulnerable unless they're in decay. And it's just generally a more friendly atmosphere. PvP is enabled, though, and you know, people are welcome to duel, etc., etc. And I mean, the general gist of it is there's PvP, but there's no griefing. If you're out gathering resources and someone comes across you and decides to kill you, that isn't griefing. That's PvP. If they sit on your corpse and kill you again when you come to get it, that's griefing. If they just kind of hang around at bosses waiting to ambush people who are going to try and deal with the bosses, that's griefing. It's very much a case of oh, how did I put it to the Dapperlings when they were trying to codify things? Work smart, not hard, is the basic idea of it. Don't pour time and energy into solving a problem that isn't a problem yet. Because A, trying to solve a problem you don't fully understand is inherently inefficient and, you know, just much harder because you don't know what you're trying to solve yet. And again, it might not ever be a problem. So all of that effort is wasted. Yeah, pretty much. The rules can be summed up as be dapper. Hello, Stalker. I actually don't want to play around with this place, but it's a very interesting looking place. Bandit Stronghold. Well, well, well. Now that place sounds like it's probably full of all kinds of loot and gloriousness. Let's see, what does it say? Yeah, whetstone, sulfur, or paper. Okay. Might not mind cracking that nut open. I believe this is the bandit mine? No, this is the Forgotten Cemetery. Okay. Did I check that one? I don't think I did, but I definitely checked this, so I'm going to go up here and check this one instead. Okay, so the way that this game works is inherently around clans, like vampire clans. And this server is set up to be duos. So a clan can be no larger than 2 vampires. So you're going to have a lot of little clans. Some of them will just be solo. I'm running solo at the moment, for example. Some will be 2 people working together. But it'll never be more than that. So there's never going to be a situation where one clan is just basically too big to fail, if that makes sense. You're never going to have any kind of whale clans. From what I've seen from others is airlocks or two, so if people try to sneak in as rats, you can lock them in. That's an interesting one. A gentleman's murder club. Always two there are. But yeah, a lot of people are just focusing on building, learning the game, having fun. And for the most part, when people have encountered each other that I've seen, though understand, obviously, I'm the streamer, so my experience might be very different from anyone else's. But one of the things that quite a lot of people have noticed in chat and have commented on is that people just generally are, you know, if they come across someone else, they just stop to help or kind of just, you know, wave and head on. And there's a decent amount of trading going on, and just generally people are being helpful. But there's no particular requirement for that. It's just, this is a community server, and that's the nature of the community. It's like when we had a PvP-enabled 7 days server. I don't actually think anyone had any kind of base raids or anything like that, even though that was implicitly allowed. It's just not the way the Dapperlings operate, really. But having PvP enabled does allow them to have duels and little tournaments and stuff like that, which would otherwise be mechanically impossible. Paper there. Got a little entryway over here that wouldn't be bad to have a look at. I don't think I need to check these out again. Well, actually, no, I think I swept through here, so they would have shown up on my map. How do you upgrade your wolf? How do you mean? I'm sorry, I'd be more than happy to answer the question, but I'm not actually sure what you mean. This is just the wolf form that I got from... Oh, actually, I may know what you're talking about. Give me just a second to find a safe spot. This is the wolf form you get from defeating the alpha wolf. This is the DLC cosmetic that you get from having the DLC. It has no functional difference. It just looks different, if that's what you meant. Yeah, PvP enabled on 7 days also lets you accidentally shoot your friends. Well, no, specifically friendly fire being on allows you to shoot your friends. Ah, good time. Just set up my place a while ago, so I'm not on your map yet. Just west of the cemetery. Oh, just west of the cemetery. Which one? Right, okay. You just set up. In that case, I will come back. Just, oh, crap, I'm going the wrong way. I will come back so that I can see. Gonna have to go over this bridge again. It's fine. Shunk. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm just popping around to add people's castles onto my map, so I just know whereabouts they are. And, you know, so I can end up with like 15 different places where Belial has lived and moved on from. Because Belial changes castle locations like everyone else changes underway. Yeah, you can howl as a wolf, yeah. You just press T. It's down here. When you've changed, you get this. Howl like a wolf. Like a vampire wolf. Right. We're going to need to go over there. But you know what? I don't think I've actually howled next to wolves yet, so... I will have a look for some wolves, and then I will howl next to them. It'd be interesting if there's a reaction from them. Thank you. Oh, I'm going to hide. It's like, your door is facing the sun. Why? We're like that meme of the sheep in, what was it, like Texas, I think it was? Just like the entire herd of sheep standing and following the shadow of a windmill. Like one of those, proper, large power windmills. And they were just perfectly in the shadow of the windmill. And they just kept moving with it as the sun moved the shadow along the ground. Ah, glorious. Looking very nice indeed. Nice and compact. Yes. You've got some even further outer walls. Very, very nice. Got some aspirations to have like separate rooms, I imagine. Is there progression like Valheim-style bosses that unlock new items, or just general skill upgrading through experience points? Okay, yeah, actually, it's very, very similar to Valheim. The comparisons to Valheim are extreme. So first and foremost, you don't gain any like personal abilities that I've seen. It's all based on your gear. And so when you look at people, that 35 there, that's my gear level. Looking at Coca Wolf, I can see that their overall gear level is 14, and that's how I can gauge how strong someone is in terms of their actual equipment. Now, they will have some powers as well, and those, as you drew attention to, come largely from defeating bosses. So you've got a couple of special abilities, and this one, for example, is from taking out a boss. These two are from taking out a boss. These two and this one. Some vampire powers just unlock naturally, but the ability to change into a wolf, that was also unlocked from taking out a boss. And the bosses, much like Valheim in this regard, some of them will teach you powers, other ones will teach you like new things, new building blueprints and stuff like that. So the Alpha Wolf is how I got the ability to change shape into a wolf. Taking out Keely the Frost Archer gave me the power Frostbat, but also taught me how to make a tannery and the recipes for various types of leather items. Rufus the Foreman taught me Blood Rage and how to make a woodworking bench, as well as the recipes for the Hunter's Crossbow, the Fishing Rod, so on and so forth, and all the Stonebreaker. Now, bearing in mind, every single one teaches you something, like a functional structure. Sometimes it's functional, probably sometimes it's also purely like decorative. But most of them seem to also teach powers, some of them teach quite a few. This is how many bosses there are in the game. We're still going, still going, still going. There you go. I don't know what these will give because they're so hopelessly more powerful than I am. I can't even see what they are or what they might offer as rewards. Hopefully that answered your question, Phantom Builders. This game has felt very willing to show you when you are underprepared for an area. I went wandering and ended up in the iron mine when I was level 28. Is there a way to play this game single player? Yeah, you can play on a single player server. So, for example, if you want to have the opportunity to invite friends, because unlike Terraria and indeed unlike Valheim, your character is not distinct and separate from the world. The world is where your character lives, and that character lives only on that world. So, in a sense, the only difference is the server you're on. If you go to a different server, like that's the only metric. Like with Valheim and with Terraria, you would select your character and then you'd select the server to play on. In this, you would simply select the server to play on. And if you already have a character there, then that character would be loaded. If you don't, then you would make a new character. And you can absolutely play on a server where you simply don't allow other people to it. But later on, like if you've got a mind to, you just want to start off, but then later on bring people over, you can have a multiplayer server that's basically restricted to one until later. But you can also play in an offline mode. That was actually added today. So this is very much in early access, and one of the things that a lot of people asked for was the ability to play in offline mode, and so that was added in. That was in a hotfix today. So previously, and I was playing on solo for like an hour or two when I was getting my bearings for the game before I streamed it the first time. Previously, the solo mode was basically you had a single player online server. So you had to be online because it was an online server. But then, you just, when you logged off, that server time, nothing progressed. So, that did mean that certain things that are built around the idea of them progressing when you're offline or just, progressing over time while the server is active, are a little bit skewed. So you would have to adjust settings for that. But apparently it's very, very verbose settings. So you can tailor the experience quite intricately to your tastes. But now you can simply have an offline server that is inherently single player. Thanks, Aavak. Looks amazing. Tons of fighting content and building. So tempted to get it. Yeah, that was one of the things that a lot of people said. A lot of people who've been looking at this game have pointed out that, yeah, it's basically Valheim, but with better combat. I would say the building in this is different enough that the comparison to Valheim is a little bit skewed. I do understand why people make it, because it's a very, there's so many other comparisons that you can draw to Valheim, that the fact that you have building that you can do and that you can make it, really nice castles and stuff like that, and you can be very decorative, that gets kind of lumped in with it. Oh yeah, it's similar to Valheim as well. But I would say the building in this is a lot simpler. There's a cost to that. The price you pay for having a much simpler, much easier kind of slot down walls in neat connection to each other, lay down floors and put down workbenches and so on and so forth, is that you have less personal creativity options. Like some of the builds you could do in Valheim were amazing, super gorgeous, but they required a degree of personal creativity that I don't think everyone had, and so some people felt a little bit left out, because you couldn't simply have a pretty building. You had to be able to put the work in and also have the inspiration to do it yourself. And if you didn't, then you just had to be content with a box of wood. And that, I think some people were frustrated with that. And it's the same with Terraria. Some people will literally have every NPC room is literally a carbon copy box of wood. And then other people will have an entire like vampiric village, and every NPC has got a themed room that makes sense, and everything is, it feels more like an actual place people live. This game, though, the game is gorgeous in and of itself, but the buildings are really, really pretty. And so, there's the pros and the cons to the building being easier. One, you can't be quite as personally creative, but on the flip side, the game's developers and artists have made incredibly pretty assets to build with. So, it's got its ups and its downs, its pros and its cons. Personally, as someone who intensely enjoyed the creativity aspect of Valheim, I'm not feeling, that this is too restrictive. I am aware that the building isn't as flexible and that I can't, flex my creative muscles as much as I could with Valheim, and I can't, find novel ways of creating pretty designs, by layering wood in a certain way, etc., etc. But I am nevertheless really full of inspiration to build really gorgeous castles, because the assets within the game are just so pretty. So it's literally just a case of work out how I can work within the game's structure to draw out as much of my aesthetic from the assets as I can. I hope that makes sense. A bit of a long-winded explanation, but I do worry sometimes when people make the comparison to Valheim too firmly, especially when talking about like the building aspect. Because I do feel that the games are different enough for that comparison to start breaking down at that point. But if you were to take the games as a whole, yeah, again, coming back to the... I'm going to say it like I said. It's a true the 48th time as it was the first time I said it. This game is basically Valheim and Diablo had a baby and then dressed it up as Castlevania. So if you like all three of those games, this game is going to tick so many of your boxes, you won't know what to do with yourself. We are almost home, everyone. I just wish there were more floors with the castle. I mean, every type of room floor, like workshop, alchemy, like laboratory, forge, and all that, seem to have 2 variants, so... I mean, there's at least that. But I am home. Sadly, my castle isn't much of anything yet, but we're slowly working on it. Oh, balls! I forgot to drop by Demi. I'm silly sausage. I meant to go and say hello. I meant to go and pick up those hearts and drop things off. I'm a dumb Aavak, and I feel dumb. Oh, thank you so much, Demi. That's super kind of you. Okay, rat is hard. Anyone want to come help me with my rat infestation? Oh, are you... Oh, that rat. Were you... Oh, did you summon the big rat? I think... I mean, I'll come over and help. I think they're a fairly high-level boss, though, aren't they? Let's find out. Where are you? Ferocious Bear. No. Oh, no. Putrid Rat's only level... Yeah, Putrid Rat is 5 levels below me, so I might be able to help there. Yeah, that's definitely something that people have warned me about. It's like, yeah, you know what? Don't jump into that fight yet, you know? Or just make sure that you're ready for what's going to come your way. It's like, oh, duly noted. Let's drop off more... Ooh. You know what? Demi of Derp, whichever door you come to, in fact, I'm just going to open both doors ahead of time so you can come straight in. Whomp. Ooh. Actually, Demi of Derp, when you get here, just knock on the door. Both entrances have got plenty of cover, but I will kick in my mist generator to make sure you've got a little bit of extra cover out here, but there's loads of trees and stones on either side, so you should be safe. However, I don't know how my servant is going to react. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. This game does look really good, but I'd like to wait for it to come out of early access. Oh. Hello. Come on in. Right. Is bad credits going to go for you? Bad credits might only attack if you do something like attack the building inside. It looks like they're not interested. Oh, no, they've changed their mind. Okay, you best just go straight out the door, and I'm going to close it behind you so they don't follow. Because they're more or less equal level to you. I don't know if I can call them off. They don't stop. Ah, crap. Okay. You just keep running. Run into the castle and just keep running around in circles. I think there's one thing I can do. Let me see. Summon. Okay, no, never mind. Don't go into the castle too much. I've just summoned them back into the castle, so they should leave you alone. Is he running straight back for you? He is running straight back for you. My lord. You bloodthirsty little scallywag. I mean, it's good for a guard to be that bloodthirsty, but dear lord. Alright, okay. Crisis averted. Sorry about that, damn it. What was it that you were interested in? If anything. Oh, no. Leather if I have some. Oh, I've got plenty. I think. Yes, I do. Leather or hide? You know what, I'll give you... Just drop a stack off of both. Oh, leather. Okay. There you go, then. Enjoy. But duly noted, there doesn't seem to be a way for me to call off the... to recall the hounds. Should my friends come over. Right. Gonna have to think about how I deal with that one. You're welcome. Happy to help. Thank you very, very much for the hearts. They're fantastically useful to me right now. Trying to get to the point that I've got a throne where I can maybe then start giving my followers commands and call them off. That would be a thing. And let me top up my castle heart as well. Right, assortment of shells. Donk. Apparently, this is even better than the lockboxes that I've got. Let's have a look at them. Storage. So the lockbox has up to 21 items. The vampire lockbox has 14 items. The bookcase, though, 28 items. Let me grab some planks and copper so I can properly showcase what they'll look like, because I really hope they look nice. Though, one thing I will say is I am not going to be just randomly piling up a bajillion bookcases because they happen to be the better storage option. It will have to look like it makes sense for me to do it. Can I not stack them? Oh no, I've already got 200 of them. Wow. Planks. I've been quite bad at gathering planks, it seems. Is there a resource multiplier on the server, or is it base values? From what I recall, they said that the server was just slightly easier than default settings. But whether that was in regards to just combat or resource acquisition, I don't know. I know that when I first came on the server, I was a little bit surprised by how smooth the combat was, because in the solo game I played, I did the silly thing. I don't know. It's the equivalent of seasoning your food before you've tasted it, and it's such a bad habit that I have. But I have grown accustomed to assuming that the default settings will be more on the forgiving side than I would gain enjoyment from. Let's put it that way. So I made the difficulty a little bit harder for me in my solo outing. I was only going to be messing around on it for an hour or two anyway. But I definitely noticed a difference in the combat. The servants helping crafting. I have no idea. I haven't got a throne yet, so right now my servant is simply fighting for me. But hopefully we will find out soon. Can I drop off some bones in here? Yes. I could basically have this running for a long time. Okay, so this would be the rat. I'm not sure I really want to summon that rat yet. I'm going to be honest. Got a feeling that maybe it would be wise not to. It's not nice. Oh, poor Kira. Have you managed to deal with your rat problem? So distracted by the fluffy tails and their movement. Many floofy tails. If you place your base right next to near Tristan's path and summon a ton of vermin rats, you could sick them on Tristan to kill him. I imagine that would be entirely possible. I imagine that would be entirely possible. Good morning, Lord Saru. Right. Now, let's go and see about those planks. By the way, I'm using a gaming mouse and got all my attacks set to different buttons. Oh, is that working well for you, Koga? Let's have a look at these beautiful bookcases then. Right, build, bookcase, let's have a look. That is very nice. So where is the ladder to get the books down from the top shelf? Because that... don't even begin talking about the scrolls in the very top. That is very swanky. That would look amazing in a room with the... where are you? The wood-panelled walls. Very much so. Ooh. Garden fencing. Oh, wait! Of course. There's new stuff. We can make tombs now. Now, here's a question for you. Will my servant kill the skeletons that are tombed with someone? Oh, that is an important question. That is an important question. Okay, we need to find some things out. Alright, first and foremost, I want to... What do I need for that? Stone. Time for science, indeed. Grab everything down here. The 8 of 80. Seven. Sure, let's keep going. As well. Yeah, let's get that one back if I can. Yeah, you know what? Let's not do all of that just yet. Let's just have the wall go out this far. I'm going to create a palisade wall. And then we can have a look at... Well, I could either do that or I could build it as a stone wall. Just have an external courtyard. That's absolutely an option for us. And then I could have a mist brazier out here as well. Okay, well, let's clear this area. Rithnoth. I always love a good vampire game, so I can't wait to play this. I imagine you'll enjoy it a lot then. Right, next up, I would like to run the... Oh. Do you not... Ah, do you... Ah, okay, fair enough. I was assuming that you would build it like that, but apparently no. Okay. Well, we're going to have a gateway over here. Grab these bricks. Look. The River. Very pretty indeed. Now as for the castle walls. Want an entranceway? Right there. I'm going to say servant locked gate here. And in and of itself, that is enough to stop someone getting in. That's literally all I would need. Could have had a gate there if I'd wanted. Instead of that. But I think I'm going to have an internal area. Yep. I don't strictly need them to have any actual windows in there, though I suspect that if I don't, then bats would just be able to come in. Bats being other players, that is. Put that there. I'm going to want my axe for now. I'm not even sure if anyone is capable of turning into a bat yet on the server. I'd have to move my those boxes too, actually. Those chests. In terms of the verticality, as far as I'm aware, you can only build one story tall, but you can build over natural elevations. So, for example, where the cliff is going up there, you could build down there, I imagine. Might also be that you can just build whatever you want, wherever you want. Doesn't need to be on your land. No, you do actually need to be on your territory. So I'm not entirely sure how you would go up elevations, but I know you can. Just don't know how, I'm afraid.